Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Make a Sci-Fi RPG Part 12. In the last episode, I was kindly joined by Michaela, and we watched as I spent way too much time on some feet, and then tried to get the dissolve effect to work in Unity. So that didn't quite go according to plan. It took a lot of time to set up the materials for Enemy 2.0 with Shader Graph. And I ended up having to create, because of the way I modeled Enemy 2.0, I ended up having to create different shaders for the eyeballs, the irises, the eyelids, the teeth, the boot spikes, and the body. And then I had to do shader graph for each of those so that they could all dissolve rather than just one dissolving. So it's a bit of a nightmare. But we got it done. And he's looking all right now. So this is my enemy controller script. There's a lot of stuff. So you can see I've already referenced all the dissolve materials that I created. And dissolve time. I've created a particle effect. I don't know why it wasn't recorded, because I'm silly. But I created a dissolve effect so that instead, a particle effect, so that instead of it looking like they're dissolving, because I was having issues with the dissolve, it looked like they're being transported out, a la Star Trek, that kind of thing. So they're being teleported. So that's what these effects are. This is the particle emitter. It's a visual effects graph. That's the dissolve effect that has the particle effect on it. We're going to instantiate it when they die, and it's going to kind of like beam them out. And while the particles are playing, the dissolve effect will hopefully go and do some stuff. So let's just go back a second, right? I may scroll too quickly. If I can just enemy patrol. Here we go. So this is the code I had to write for the dissolve effect. I did go over this in another video, but I have a feeling it's a video that hasn't been published yet, because it might have been when I was the other day while I was working on some present day stuff. So it's basically in the shader graph, I had exposed a parameter so that you could scroll between 0 and 1, and that would do the dissolve effect. So that's so this is the shader graph kind of identification code for that variable. Full dissolve is at 1, and then 0 is obviously, not dissolved, and then you're just lerping, so you're interpolating slowly between the max body, which would be 0, the full dissolve, over the dissolve time, which I did that as a variable so that I could change that within Unity as well, just in case I wanted it faster or slower by time.else time. And I did that basically same code for the body, the eyeball, the teeth, the eyelids, the iris, and the weapon, because the weapon needs to dissolve as well. And then I will be, so I have here, so the start dissolve is do the dissolve effect, which instantiates the particle effect, tells it to start, and sets a boolean for emitter active to true, and then stop particle is just stop the particle effect. Well, that's how I'm trying to do it at the minute. The stop particle effect wasn't working. That's probably why. Actually, the start effect wasn't really working either, to be honest. So, I messed around with this for a little while. This is one of those videos that's or recordings that's 4 hours long, and it is 4 hours of like solid work. So obviously, depending on how much I get to scrub through, we'll see how long it actually ends up being. But I don't think it'll all go up in this video, so I'll have to split it into a couple of videos. I'll make a note of the time when it ends so that I can come back to it. Yeah. So then we're doing the particle emitter. We're going to set that to the particle game object. Okay, component. So the particle component on the enemy 2.0, and it's a visual effect. So that's pretty cool. And we're just going to try stop it again. I'm not entirely sure how, because in the visual effects graph, there is a thing of a send a message, and you can reference the message with a string, but I'm not entirely sure how that works. I've tried it a few times, and I can't quite get it to work. Again, there's not a huge amount of tutorials online for Visual Effects Graph yet. I'm assuming that's because it's relatively new. It's not that new anymore, though. I mean, it came out in 2019. It's a year old. And I don't know, not many people are doing tutorials on it, though, so... At least not that I've found, and I have looked a lot. Because it is something that I'm trying to learn. So, we've got our enemy. Nice shiny armor. I guess I'm waiting for the scripts to compile, because Unity can be slow. We're going to play it. He moves around. Which is the guy? This is the guy we're looking at. I'm going to take his health. I'm going to kill him. His health times 0. Ragdoll comes on. And then it should... It doesn't. It should play the particle. Oh, I don't have the particle emitter. So I have the particle effect, but not the particle emitter. And the particle emitter would be where the effect spawns in. So I have not set that. Well, that's one problem. Easily solved. Particle emitter. Interesting. Relatively easily solved if you know what you're doing, but I don't, so yeah. And apologies that this video is going out later than usual. If you were expecting it to go up at noon today. Normally I have my videos done in advance and I just schedule them to go up, but yesterday I was working from about 8 a.m. until I think 9 or 10 p.m. because this project was due. I wanted to get it in because I had to be in before Tuesday, but I had to be in before that so that the teacher had enough time to correct it because he had to submit the grades on Tuesday. So I was trying to get that done and send it off last night. I didn't have time to record anything. So I'm doing it now. But hopefully, now that is actually, I finished this. I handed this up, and I had one other write-up to do, and I finished that last night as well. So I am now, hopefully, officially finished with this year's college work. Yay! Unless they get back to me and say that there's some issues or some things that I need to fix, which hopefully they won't. But now, yeah, I've got the summer to just do whatever. Continue on with this, try and make it... add some stuff that I didn't get to add in for the assignment. So that would be cool. Practice some other, some more sculpting I want to do. There's some 3D modeling stuff I want to practice. Obviously some visual effects stuff as well. So we're gonna kind of get to that, and obviously get back to the Let's Plays as well because those are fun. Everybody loves a Let's Play. Ain't that the truth? So we're gonna dissolve the play, yeah. The particle emitter, dissolve effect is the dissolve particle object. The particle emitter is the visual effect graph. Yes, that's not. I'm not going to spoil anything. I know how I fixed one of these problems. And that's how it is. I want him to spawn the effect from the hip because it's a kind of a cylindrical effect, which you will see in a minute. And I wanted to kind of start in the middle of him and spawn it there. The reason it's not letting me drag the hip in there, as I'm so desperately trying to do, is because I have said that this, in code, I've said that this has to be a visual effect component, not a game object. So if I just go into the script and change that from visual effect to game object, it'll let me drag the hip in. Type mismatch. No. Oh, there you go. There was a bit of it. Okay, I must have done that then. So we're going to try it again. See if it works. We take his health, bump it down to 0, he dies. And then theoretically... It's coming up here, none. So when I play it, it's not... Interesting, and there's nothing coming in. Pop in this, yeah. Well, there's no point in doing it now because he's already dead. I could try it on this guy. Who is this guy? Oh, he's this guy. I see. And look at this guy, doesn't have a visual effect thing, so it should be that. That's the particle emitter, that's not the effect. We want that in there. Yeah, and then you want the dissolved particle in here. And then we want to kill this guy. And he doesn't die. I don't know why that happened. It happened a few times. And I still don't really know. I mean, in game they die when their current health goes down to 0. But sometimes when I was testing it, I'd get down and they just wouldn't die. They refused. So we've got a that's right. A visual effect is a dissolve effect. The game object is a particle emitter. I took out the line there very quickly that was setting the visual effect. That was setting the visual effect graph in the start function because it's a separate object. So I was trying to get a component on the enemy that was a visual effect, and I don't have a component on the enemy that's a visual effect. So that was that problem. So we kill this guy, and he should... There we go. We got a little particle effect, and he dissolves. The annoying thing is, right, it works in the scene view. Obviously, the stop isn't working. But that's an easy fix, right? So you saw that. He died, this turned on, and he dissolved. We're going to test it with this guy, see if he dies. He died. Turns on. Okay, he doesn't look like he's dissolved. He has not dissolved. Because I think I have the wrong materials. No, it should have dissolved his body. Huh. There's a reason this is a 4-hour video. It's because I don't know what I'm doing or how to get it to work. Why do I keep trying to add stuff in that I've not learned? I guess I'm just a glutton for punishment. Like I spent ages on this, and we have not done visual effect graph properly. We've not done shader graph properly, and I'm trying to use both of them. We haven't done rigid or ragdoll at all, and it's become, I've spent so much time in it for this project, and I don't know. I mean, I keep running into problems because obviously I don't know what I'm doing and I'm trying to figure it out by myself. And I get kind of partway there, I guess. Yeah, kind of. But are we waiting for the scripts to compile? Oh, we're going back into the script. Send it. Oh yeah, I don't have the effect graph up on my monitor. I have it on my other monitor, so that's not being recorded, but the send stop message I called particle stop. So I'm trying to send the event to stop the particle. Because if you actually click on it, because it has a little button on it in the visual effect graph that says like send, and if you click on that button, it does work. It stops the particle effect. But I can't seem to access it through code in a way that works. Public, what am I doing? Public light? Well, I'm going to make light. Oh, I should have lowered that down. I never did that. Shoot. Too late. Too late. Well, I say too late. I can fix it. I can fix it later. It's just too late for the assignment. Not that that really matters. I think I said it before. Basically, what we had to have for this assignment was an animated player, an animated enemy that chased the player or followed the player, some kind of like attack, and there goes my dog, woof woof, and some kind of attack, and then a win condition. It could be fairly basic. And some people did do some pretty basic stuff, but I went hell for leather and did much more than that. A, because I'm stupid. B, because I am a glutton for punishment. And C, because I misunderstood the assignments at the start of the year. The way it was explained, I thought that this assignment could have been used for 3 different modules. But that was the group project that ended up being used for like 3 different modules. And this was just for scripting module, which is obviously more focused on the scripting than the actual game. But because I thought it could be done for scripting, animation, and individual project, I think, were the 3 that I was expecting it to be done for. I decided to make it big. And, turns out I had to put more work into the other assignments, but I still had this started and kind of my mind set on it, and my stubbornness wouldn't let me kind of let it go. So I got it. Well, I got it. When we get to the point where I've handed it up, I will let you be the judge of whether or not I got it done. Obviously, I have not gotten it done to my. I was going to say standards. I don't have standards. My. Just where it's not where I'd want it to be. So obviously I'm going to keep continuing it on over the summer and getting it to where I want it to be, or at least trying to. And then, we can add other levels or other stuff. We'll do some cool stuff with it. I can't figure out how to turn a light off, so I'm making a game object that I'll put the light in, and I will just turn off the game object, which will turn off the light. Easy way around it. There is definitely a way to access the light encode and turn it off. I also had an issue changing the intensity of the light through code. And I don't know why, because maybe it's something simple, I'm guessing. It's usually something simple, but I just could not for the life of me figure it out. So now we're gonna. Well, we got the guy to dissolve, and the problem was every time he dissolved, and I stopped playing it, it would save him as dissolved. So I'd have to go back in and undissolve all the materials. So, let's see me. Here he is, just undissolve him, undissolve everything, get his iris back, get his eyes back, his teeth, his boot spikes, get everything back. And he's getting, just thrown in some more spheres. Oh yeah, undissolve his gun. Because his gun is gone. Undissolve the gun. Where are we at here? Okay, we're giving that guy some more waypoints, just so that they'll do a little bit more of a patrol. Similar to what they do in the level. Bring in his hips, bring in the dissolve particle, pop that in here, and the light. Okay, yeah, the light is in that game object, that's fine. That's cool. So go back to this guy, we're gonna test again and see how it goes. Let's have a look. So he's walking, we take his current health, which is, yeah, we bring it down, boom, dead. Getting pushed by his, and he dissolved. Annoying that it worked there. But the stop thing is still not stopping. So just also turn off the light. Anyway, I figured that out. It's doing the code, like it's running the code, because I put in a debug to make sure that it was actually not an issue with the code. So it's saying, yeah, oh yeah, no, we've run that line of code. It's just it doesn't seem to do anything. So this guy, kill him. And does he? He's got everything on it, and it also doesn't seem to be working. Yes, I know. So, why? Why is one of them working and one of them not? Huh. Interesting. I don't know is the honest answer. Set event, dissolve, set active, that seems fine. Even though it's not doing that. Huh. Interesting. Back into the code. You can't do a set active for the visual effects. You can do a send event, which I've done, and I've used the name of the event, the string method name. I've done that. Sorry, send message. I've done that. Is it because the script is on the enemy and not on the actual particle effect? But I am saying, like, I'm referencing the particle effect, and we've dragged that in the inspector, so it should be able to go to this. So I don't think that's the reason. But I don't know. This is annoying. I do spend just ages staring at code when things stop working. I go back into code and I read over and over and over it, and I'm like, Surely there must be a way. Surely there must be a way to do it. And that's what most of my time is spent doing, is just either staring at code or staring at the inspector and clicking through different things. Just going, will that work? No. Does that work? No. How about that? Does that work? No. So we undissolve all these again, bring him back. And his gun, bring his gun back. And then we shall test it again. Again. He did. He dissolved without the particle effect coming on. So I've made it worse. Interesting. Yeah, they're coming on, they're spawning deactive, because I do have a line of code in there that says set active to false. So it's immediately doing that. Stop particle. Do I invoke? I invoke stop particle after 3 seconds though, so it shouldn't be setting them to inactive immediately. It should be waiting 3 seconds or 5 seconds, because that's what I've just changed it to. So why? 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 Oh, why? Oh, why? His teeth are back. Yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to bring him back. Yes. Yep. The dog is going crazy. Oh well. There's not much I can do about that. So I apologize, I guess. You know. Dogs be dogs. Turn the health down. Kill the guy. He dissolved, but again, it spawned this in inactive immediately, which it shouldn't be doing, because it should be waiting 5 seconds. So I've got it here. Stop particle after 5 seconds. There's nothing here that's setting anything inactive. No, these are all setting floats. You'd think that because I'm looking back at this, I'd know. But no, I never figured it out, which is quite annoying, as is that dog. Maybe she's just mad that I'm spending more time with you guys than I am with her. But you know, it's gotta be done. Wow, shut up. Okay, do I figure this out? Now bring him back again, yes, I know. This is another case of just me spending so much time working on something that, spoiler alert, I don't get working, and I end up having to, in this case I don't have to scrap everything, I end up doing something different that it's not quite what I want, but it's the best that I could do, considering I only got it fixed yesterday, so I say fixed. Yeah, so there's still They're still coming on inactive. Yeah, I just had to kind of throw together some basic fix for it. What was I saying? I had to throw together some basic fix for it to just because I had to get it all done yesterday to hand it up. So I spent hours on this, trying to get it to work, and I think I'm getting it to a point. This is the worst part, and it's probably going to be in a later video, but I'm going to spoil that for you now. I get it to a point where I think it's working, and then I get into the game view, and it works in the scene view, but in the game view it does not work at all, and it is infuriating, and I cannot get it to work. And it's a problem with the shader graph, so I have to abandon shader graph and all the work that I put into it. But that is just part of the process. You know, you can spend like with the first enemy, I spent 3 days working on him, trying to get him to work. Couldn't get him to work, had to just delete him and start from scratch and do enemy 2.0. Which, you know, was annoying, yes, but enemy 2.0 actually turned out better than the first one because I'd learned. So that at least was something. I don't know what I learned from this other than, you know, shader graph's a bitch. But even that, I guess, is better than nothing. So bring the guy back again. Bring the guy back. Come on, bring him back. Oh, too quick. And we'll test it. We go find the guy, kill him again. The one good thing about having to test this over and over again is it's so satisfying looking at the ragdoll turn on. Even though it's so annoying that this isn't. Also, you may notice his gun has disappeared, but nothing else has. Keep that in mind, because that's another problem that appears, rears its ugly head for this effect that I was trying to get done. And we'll talk about that when I get to it. There's no point talking about it now. So yeah, there's lots of stuff still left to do. I had a little list that I had to cross off, just of stuff that was the basics of. Oh, I did that. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still getting some issues with it, and kind of some issues with that one. So I had that the enemy was still shooting when dead, so I fixed that. Go to the testing to see if the dissolves were still working. It is not. Fix the player speed. I'm still getting some issues with that. Fix the player collider. Yep, I did that. And fix enemy teleport out because the dissolve effect wasn't working, which I did. And then I just had to turn down laser lights. Fix enemy gun position because he was shooting weird. Throw down some props. Do the pause menu. Add enemies to the lower levels. Put in some sound effects and some lights. And then there was other stuff that I actually ended up doing as well for the build. All yesterday. God, so much work. At least I got to experience what one day of crunch time is like. And considering people, like, obviously there's that whole thing with Rockstar and was it GTA 5 or Red Dead 2? Or both, probably. Where they were doing like 60-hour weeks in the last couple of weeks coming up to the release. Oh my god, like... And they were all just like getting burnt out, and it was awful. Yeah. Like, what was I saying? 8 till 10, so it's 12 to 14 hour day working on it. But by the end of it, I was exhausted. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing anymore. I just had to bang some stuff out, and then I was like, meh. So that's still not working because of that line of code. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. I don't know what that is. But, you know. So... So we bring him back again. His teeth, his body, his iris. Kill him. Okay, it turns on. But it still doesn't turn off. Oh. Particle stopped. It's not stopped. This is like the reverse of the problem I was having before, where I would try and instantiate a particle effect and then destroy the game object or turn the game object off, but keep the particle effect there. And I was having a problem that the particle effect was being spawned as a child of the object I wanted to destroy, and destroying the object destroyed the particle effect, so it never actually it never started, or it was destroyed before it could finish. And now I'm trying to basically do this the opposite, where I'm trying to get the particle effect to turn off with the enemy game object, but it's instantiated as its own object, which means it's going to need its own script to turn it off. And that, spoiler alert, is the fix for this particular problem. Go back into the script. Dissolve stop. Oh, and it is a fix. Well, that wasn't really a spoiler. That was just a, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Almost like I remembered. So we're just going to do a stop particle, and then it's basically just going to be. Am I going to try send the stop message first? I might just turn the game object off. Yes, that is a way, because at least I know that works. And then we will invoke that after a couple of seconds. A couple of seconds. My phone just lit up. What does it go to do? So we're going to invoke stop particle. It needs a time. After that, okay, so we're going to put that onto. Where's it gone? There it is. We need to put it onto the dissolve particle. Particle. Dissolve stop. That has been removed. It has not. It has just been added. How very strange. Yes, that's fine. It's all saved. I'm not getting any errors on it, so we'll just put it on there. There we go. Weird. That has the script on it. That's fine. Cool. So that means everyone that's instantiated should have the script on it. So let's bring our enemy back. Again. Again. It's fascinating stuff, isn't it? But this is what it is. If you want to make a game, sometimes you have to spend an inordinate amount of time staring at the exact same thing, trying to get it to work. Going over and over and over again. And over and over. So that stopped. So that had the script on it. So he's gonna die. He gets dissolved. And then after, yeah. So the particle effect stops. That's cool. It's a bit long. but I can just change the time on that. So we will 2.5 seconds. There you go. That's much better. So enemy controller. It's a long script. I should. Separate it out into different scripts, really. Like I did with the player. I have player health, player fire, and player controller, which is just for movement. I could do that with the enemy. It's a lot of work. I will probably end up doing that in the future when I have, especially if I get more weapons, more attacks, kind of will have some better stuff, better scripts. Better, because they will also be bigger scripts. So we don't need the light because the light is part of the particle effect. So when I turn the particle effect off, that turns the light off anyway, so I don't need the enemy to reference that or try to do anything with it. At least in theory. Ha 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 ha. In theory. So we've almost got it working. Yay! Yes, almost got it working in the scene view. For one guy. Are we gonna kill this guy? Are we gonna, come on. Please. Yes, kill him. Rip, he did. He beam out. The effect turns off, so that's better. Kill this guy. Take a look at him. He beam out. And yeah. So do I have I already? No, that's fine. That's fine. What am I doing? Using Unity engine dot what do I want to do? Events experimental dot VFX. Am I gonna try and? I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. Visual effect. Dissolve. What am I doing? I mean, it works the way it is, so I think I'm still trying to send the message. Dissolve effects dot send event stop particle stop. I'm still trying to do it that way. I don't know why. Dissolve effects is equal to. Well, I can do it this way now because it has the script is on the particle system, so I can just do it that way. And we're going to comment out the game object.set active, but will it work? That is the question. I can't remember the answer. I'm going to assume the answer is no. But that is just my usual assumption. With anything that I do, will it work? No, it's not going to work. Don't be silly. Play the game. Excuse me. And did work. Shocking. I am shocked. It didn't get rid of the light though. This is the problem. We have 2 invisible enemies walking around. Oh wait, you can kind of see. Interesting. So I have dissolve enemy body, dissolve enemy body 1, dissolve enemy eyeball, boots, and a dissolve enemy body, enemy eyeballs, enemy spikes, enemy teeth, enemy weapon. No, that's fine. I just need one of them. So I think what I had to do was for every enemy, I'm going to have to create a duplicate material, because I was having it that if I only use the one material, it would dissolve them all at the same time. Okay, so I got that to work. That's cool. I actually didn't realize I got that to work. I forgot it. So, yay. Pat on the back. Yet, I don't think I can get the light to turn off. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to make any predictions anymore because I was wrong. Particle light is get component light. Component in children. Yes, that's what I was just thinking, because the light would be a child object of this. That's not where the semicolon goes. Oh, okay. Dissolve light, or particle light, whatever it's called. Particle light dot. So you can't do set active, but you can do dot enabled, I think. Oh, dot game object. The game object in this one. Yeah, okay. So you can do it that way. Interesting. I'm going to get a massive error here. You just wait. I will. You'll see. All compiler errors need to be fixed. So he is back. We get the rifle. Bring the rifles back. See, that's what I mean. Like, because I only have one rifle material, so the rifles were when one guy dissolves, all the rifles dissolve. So I had to create duplicate materials, which is fine for 2 enemies. But if you start putting loads of enemies in, you're going to have to create one material for every enemy. No, I need just fucking don't be stupid. There you go. There you go. So I might have to, if I want them to dissolve them, I might have to figure out a better way to do that. I'm sure there is a better way, but it worked. It worked. Oh my god, I'm actually proud of myself. Which is kind of sad, but I didn't think I got that to work. And I couldn't figure out why, but it did. It worked. It turns on, it turns off, and the light goes away. Oh. And I mean, I think it's a pretty cool effect. I like it. I wish I could have gotten it to work for the game. But I have absolutely no idea why. I have absolutely no idea why why it's not working in the game view. That is what is annoying. I guess I could. What could I do? I guess I could keep working on it, try to figure it out, but I'm kind of at a point where I've tried everything I could think of and it still wasn't working. Maybe I need to take a break and go back and look at it later. Work on it at my leisure. and try and figure it out then. Ooh, or, hope. Well, maybe watch some tutorials. There's more for shader graph than there is for the VFX graph. But I followed a shader graph tutorial to make the dissolve effect, and I followed it exactly, and it worked for brackies, and it doesn't work for me. So the problem with the tutorial sometimes is that you know it's not the same as having a teacher there too, where you can go, well, look, I've done everything you told me to, but it's not fucking working, so why? And then they can go through and go, oh, look, there's that stupid thing you were doing. Or it's an issue with the model or the mesh, or you've got a tick box ticked somewhere that you shouldn't have ticked. So that worked. That's good. What? No. What am I doing? What are you doing? Well, yeah, okay. What do you? Yeah. Well, this is all working. So, what? How do you? Why am I? Very interesting. Oh, are we just going to get rid of it? Oh, okay. Okay. I'll just get rid of it. On the body, just to test. We're just gonna get the guy, kill the guy. Zoom into him really quickly. Oh, he just disappeared. That didn't even look like he dissolved. That looks like it's getting worse. I'm making it worse. Hi. Okay, what am I gonna do now? What am I doing? Oh, bring him back. Bring them both back. Put the dissolve time down to 0.5. Kill this dude. Yeah, you can see the dissolve happening. I get what I'm trying to do. I want it to be a slightly slower lerp. Put back in time to delta time. The body went really quickly, and you could see everything else was kind of slowly melting away. So I think keeping time to delta time on is a good idea. Getting cold. I mean, it's nice and sunny out, but my room is cold. Put the dissolve time down again. Okay. Oh, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Gotta find him. He was starting to dissolve really slowly, but I have the game object turn off after a couple of seconds. That's what that was. That's what that was. So again, it's just about tweaking the values to get it right. So where are we at now? We've got where is it? Dissolve time of 1.5. I need to keep an eye on I keep forgetting to keep an eye on the OBS because I've been having issues with it cropping out on me. And not recording properly. Still need to go I don't know, tweak some settings maybe? I don't know. Dissolve rate. Did I? Oh, I just changed it to dissolve rate instead of dissolve time. That was just me renaming. I think if you press Control or twice, you can take one thing and rename it, and it renames it everywhere within that particular script. So you don't have to worry about going through each individual place where it is, especially for something like that where it's in a lot of places. Dissolve rate is 1. And this guy's dissolve rate is going to be 0.5. So I'm going to check the difference. If there is a difference. Who knows? Well, that guy died. Kapoom. So, dissolving slowly. That's a bit too slow. What was that point? That was the 0.5 guy. The 1 guy dissolves quicklier. Dissolves quicklier. Dissolve time. Shouldn't the lower value be quicker than the... Oh, if you're multiplying it by a half by time delta time... I don't know. That's where we get to decimals and fractions and I get confused. Gotta bring the guys back before I can test it. Come on, bring them back. Bring them all back. Bring them all back. And rename some stuff. That's just the okay. Enemy folder. Oh, I think I'm going to put in folders for enemy 1, enemy 2, enemy 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. So I am duplicating these out. So you got eyeball. I should have eyeball 1 now. There you go. So I'm going to duplicate all these out. So this is basically just control D all of them. Put all some shader graph stuff. We don't need that. Got an enemy 1 folder and an enemy folder, and then we've got, so these guys are set, separate and set. Are we gonna test now? I believe we are. So we're gonna test this guy first. He's got a current health, he's dead. He's got a dissolve speed of 1. So zoom, whoop. You could even be a bit quicker, but that's kind of the effect that I was looking for. So I like that. It's working. Good. Am I just fixing his gun? Am I fixing his gun? I'm just setting his new materials in, making sure he's all set up to go. They're all going into shader graph. I don't really think I need them in there, but okay. Got a new folder for enemy 1. Okay, we can just drag all them in. That's cool. Yeah. And hopefully his gun is done as well, so we can do some more testing. Okay, deaded. Dissolved. Like it looks, I like the look. Is the light coming on? That's the... I'm not testing it anymore. Okay, well, you know what? I'm liking how that looks. His gun is gone, so I do need to do a separate gun for him. I'm redragging stuff in. Did it not save? Well, you don't need to see me do that again, and this has been about an hour, so I'm going to leave it here, and we will pick it up next time. and see what other errors I can find. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you could share it with some people that you think might be interested, that would be very much appreciated. Help me grow the channel. I would love you forever for it. And consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you can keep up to date with all this kind of cool stuff that's coming up. At least if you think it's cool. I think it's cool. So thanks very much, guys. And I will see you all next time.